Welcome, everybody, to today's broker update. And we're going to be doing something real quick here, and then we're going to the whiteboard. Sorry about the lighting. It is what it is. I'd rather have the whiteboard, even though it can't be lit up well. You'll be able to see it. It'll be good enough. So let's stay focused. My name is David Rutz. I happen to be the founder of David Allen Capital, and I'm our quarterback for this section today, broker update. Sometimes we have some of our corporate team doing this or some of our lead brokers. Today, it's going to be me. Got some good stuff to cover. And I want to begin by just celebrating. It's a new year, right? We're going into 2026. And I'd be remiss to get started with this plan for 26 if we didn't talk about the great things that happened in 25 already. So I just want to highlight a few things for you, just to let you know what our corporate team's been doing. All of you have made improvements, drastic improvements that you could probably celebrate with your own private teams. Talk to them about what you've done, how you've improved your leadership culture, what you've done to improve your communication with your teams, and maybe highlight some of the people in your teams that've gone to the next level and climbed that ladder. So celebrate a little bit with your group. But I wanted to just talk about some of the things the corporate team has been able to pull off in 2025, which means we all have, right? First of all, we celebrated our 10-year anniversary. So congratulations to all of you who've been a part of this. But 10 years ago, this business was started right here at that desk sitting right over there on the right. And I'm going to go through that story in a minute because it's what you're going to do to build your game plan, right? But 10 years, congratulations. Most companies don't make it 10 years. Right now, based on our current sales, we're in the top 2% performing businesses in the country, and we're 10 years old, and we think we can be in the top 1/10 of 1% at the end of this year. It doesn't take much to get into the top echelon. We're already there, thanks to all of you, and that's based on new sales, not past sales, new sales each year. And so we got good things to make happen in 2025, and the last 10 has been pretty spectacular. But let's just talk about some highlights from 25. All right, number one, product improvements. We launched the core rate product, and because of that, we got our biggest funding in history, $2.5 million funding last year. Congratulations. That core rate product getting prices down to where banks are, actually lower with no prepayment penalty, pretty spectacular. And in doing that, we had to take a lower commission plan. Obviously, we're paying a lower commission plan on that, lower bonus revenue, if you will, but getting much bigger fundings. And our average funding the day we launched that instantly went on our qualified clients went above 100K for the first time ever, average client, and it's still there. The core rate product is averaging well over $100,000. So if you focus on the core rate, you're going to have larger commissions. We improved the application experience. We updated the applet. We have now a pre-qualification page on it. We also have expanded our corporate staff supporting all the clients. So improved experience, a lot more personal touch and follow-up with that. We added a stall team to help go after any clients who stalled in the application. We added a renewal team, more to the renewal team. Both of those have been impactful. About 30% of our clients that got funded in the last 90 days came from our stall team, which before we weren't getting them. Now we are. So that's pretty spectacular. I'm sorry, 30% of the applications. I don't know how many of those turned into funding, but 30% of the apps come in were stalled that got bumped up. That's pretty spectacular. The Bank Breezy site is now replicated. You can send people right to bankbreezy.com. That's the brand we're going forward with. It used to be allowed to be marketed by other companies. Now it's exclusively David Allen Capital's. No one else can market the Bank Breezy brand. Anyone that was using that brand, we told, hey, if you want to market it, we're not taking your money anymore for a license. You got to become DAC brokers. If you want to market it, you got to do so through DAC. That is our brand. This company was almost called Bank Breezy. So it is the funding brand we're moving forward with. Quicken Loans has Rocket Mortgage, and now it's just called Rocket. David Allen Capital has Bank Breezy. That's our funding product. That's what we're marketing. That's what we're leading with. So you want to start making sure your marketing and advertising is going to Bank Breezy as well. David Allen Capital is still replicated. Bank Breezy is now replicated, meaning bankbreezy.com/your ID number will take people to the Bank Breezy site with your name. That went live in 2025. Also effective immediately, Spanish at bankbreezy.com. It's already translated. We've already got submissions applet, Spanish speaking team ready to talk to your clients. Only bankbreezy.com is replicated right now in Spanish. David Allen Capital, we've not converted that one yet. If you've got any Spanish clients, Spanish speaking clients, or it's their first language, send them to your Bank Breezy website. Tell them to hit the Spanish flag in the top right hand corner. You'll see English and you'll see Espanol. Click on it. And it's for all the different Spanish speaking. What flag do you put there? You can't put Mexico, because what about Puerto Rico? What about Spain? What about Colombia? What about, right? So all the different dialects are all under Spain. So we've got a Spanish flag there. So use that. You've got a competitive advantage there. Nobody else does this in funding. Nobody else does this. We have not been able to do this. We could have translated the site 10 years ago. It took us about 10 days only to translate the site and get it proofread and all that kind of stuff. The difficult thing is finding a lender who would help Spanish speaking clients, right? Because there's been some precedent set in the legal space that people could get out of repaying because they said they didn't fully understand what they agreed to, right? So all the lenders said, bye. We're not supporting that market if that's going to be the precedent finding that you can claim ignorance to your understanding and get out of it. So they just left the space. Well, we've got a lender and soon more lenders who want to do it. And so we're leading with it, and we want you to lead with it. If you know any Spanish markets, that's a new thing that just went live as of now. We'll have some more initiatives with that, some marketing campaigns and such. But for you, just know this, it's as of today, it's all completed and approved by our lenders, all the welcome emails, all the submission statements. You'll get English, the client will get Spanish. If they click on Spanish and apply Spanish, everything they hear from submissions at Bank Breezy will be Spanish. Okay. So that's what we improved in 2025 on the product side. What about on the broker opportunity side? Number one, a pay plan. Huge enhancement. We're paying out 30% more right now for every dollar in funding. What we were paying out is 30% more. Actually, it's almost 50% more because it's 30% more payout. So it's about 50%. It's higher than that. But let's just say we're paying out a lot more. All right. We don't have breakage anymore. We're paying out always 80% of bonus revenue. On every funding, 80% of bonus revenue is paid out plus the monthly pay. So we're paying out about 92 to 93% of bonus revenue on every funding right now. Where in the past, we could pay out up to 120, but we were averaging about 60 or 70 only. Unless you were someone like Nick, who was double amped and he made 80% of bonus revenue himself. And then his dad, Matt, was double amped and he made 50%. We were paying 140% of bonus revenue to the DeHane boys, right? Great job, man. You kicked butt. Ellen, you were amped up a lot too, and you did the same. So we had to put some sort of thing in place. And so the pay plan's paying out more. But number two, the ladder, where you can get up to 8% and stay there, 80% and stay there. So before you'd have to be amped up and get a new client every 30 days to stay at that high. Now it's like, hey, you climb the ladder, stay there. As long as you qualify every 6 months with 1,000 in bonus revenue, you stay at that level. And even if you don't, once you get a client, you go back up to there. Override spreads for the most productive people, that has been significant pay increases for anyone who's climbed that ladder. The amount of money you now earn in overrides is so much more than in the past. Also, we have enroller pay. No matter what, you're guaranteed 4% of bonus revenue on anyone you personally enroll, no matter what, as long as you're a certified broker. You don't have to qualify for it. You just got to be a certified broker, right? And all that is taking the 3 hours of training and taking the quizzes and passing them, right? And we let you retake them until you pass. And by the way, every time you get certified, you get 12 more months. If you got certified today, even if you got certified a month ago and you get certified today, it gets you another 12 months of qualification. You don't have to wait till your anniversary date. Every time you get certified, it bumps a new 12 months. So someone asked me yesterday, can I get certified again? Yeah. In fact, it'll add 12 more months to your qualification. You don't have to worry about becoming inactive or canceling. It changes your anniversary date. Every time you certify, you get 12 additional months. Thank you, Tyler, for that. It was a great idea. I love that. We don't have to worry about anniversary dates. I think that was his doing. On top of that, not only do you get enroller pay of 4% no matter what, you get 4 extra levels. So if someone reaches your same level in override spread, you still get 4 levels of pay. You got to qualify for it, but you can do so simply by personally recruiting brokers. You don't have to have volume requirements. You just have personal broker requirements. And then there's NMO leadership override. So the pay plan, huge improvement. Anyone who's climbed that ladder is earning a lot more for the same effort. Then we added the LMS certification to bring a higher standard to our business. And it's also an automatic renewal as well. The certification program, unbelievable. We added 2 new training modules. The comp plan and agency expansion went live yesterday. So agency expansion is there. Watch it, learn it, teach it. You can't see the comp plan or agency expansion until you are certified. You'll see them there, but you can't watch them until you become certified. Those are only available to certified brokers, but those are live. We'll have other modules as well. We had other enhanced trainings. We had the bank manager training. We did local market leadership and created that local market registration lists, right? DACleader.com for people that want to be part of the local leaders. That's talked about in the recruiting training. And that is where they go to subscribe if they want to be part of the monthly or part of the local leaders. So more enhanced training there. The huddle culture launch. We got great quarterbacks and great huddle, as we saw earlier today. Spectacular. I won't say most of our funding, but much of our fundings, especially first-time fundings, are coming from people attending the huddles. They're attending the huddles, they're being inspired, and they're going out and making things happen. Great stuff. It's raising up the quality of the brokers. Frankly, I want to see a lot more people on the huddles. You know, we've got thousands of brokers, and we should have hundreds on the huddle. We did a local manager training or local leader training last month, and it was at 300. And I thought, well, we got 300. That's pretty good. I learned we cap at 300. We would have had several more. So we had to bump our Zoom up. We want you all in your huddle culture to prove that we need to bump the Zoom up even more, that we need to have thousands available, and we'll do whatever it takes to keep that culture going. So the huddle culture has been fantastic. There was a spotlight interview that was interviewed to me of a podcast. It was featured on Fox, CBS, ABC, several different networks. And I know of one funding that led to a $300,000 funding. I know that one for sure. Don't know about any others, but it's a great sales piece for you guys to use. It's available right there. It's a great credibility piece. You should post it on your Facebook walls. We have a chat bot that just went live. It's in beta right now. You can get to it from our DAC Facebook page. Eventually, it'll be in our broker resource page on your back office, really. And what that is it's a support bot 24/7. It answers most every question support gets. It can answer specifics to your deal. You know, if you got a specific question about a specific client, it doesn't tie in real-time data with anything. That's a future module. But right now it does answer accurately on, you know, what do I make on my third level? What do I make how do I get this rank? How do I get that rank? How do I change my member ID? What do I got to do about this? You know, all the question support gets, it's answering in there. We ask you all to go use the beta. Again, it's available in your DAC Facebook page right now, the agent Facebook page, the broker Facebook page. Go give it a try. If you get a question it doesn't answer and says that's a great question, we don't have that in our knowledge base, contact support, please, you know, send that to support and tell them, because any question it doesn't know how to answer, we just teach it, we train it, and then it can answer it. So we think we've got them all done. I've played it for several hours. The cool thing about the bot, it is using ChatGPT as the other underlying engine. That means it's got voice chat. The other day tested it in voice. I said, hey, I'm sitting at a diner right now. I'm scared. I don't know how to talk to this client, but I want to talk to the owner. What should I say? And it started talking right back to me using DAC training. So it's not full of training. It's more of a support bot, but we did put some basic training in there and how to have a conversation about the funding, how to have a conversation with a bank manager. We got some basics in there. So it's not general knowledge. It is DAC trained knowledge. So please use it and let us know. So that went live. It's in beta, but it's available now. Our merchant store and our print shops went live in 2025. So you can get access to DAC approved stuff. We've asked them actually to bring some more economical stuff in there. They got a lot of high-end quality stuff, which is great, but we wanted to get some other stuff that's a little more economical into the merchant store and print shop as well. So those are there. So those are all 2025 enhancements. And wait till you see what's coming in 2026. But what's most of all is we paid out a lot more. Commissions went up. We helped a lot more clients. And that's intentionally what our company was started to do, right? Was to make an impact, help business owners, and help you have a great broker program where you can make some significant money. So that's a celebration of 2025. Now let's get into a plan. If you want to make 26 successful, and I'm assuming you do, and 25, bring it home. You already did, but if you're trying to expand and grow from there, we got a plan for you. Here's what it boils down to. We talked yesterday about it's good to have goals, and you want to have goals, but what's more important is you have a structure to place over those goals. You have a process to live up to accomplish those goals, right? It doesn't matter that you have a goal. You want to have a goal, but it doesn't matter if you don't have a process and a plan to make it happen, right? Simple stuff. You've learned this since you were in second grade. But to the contrary, most people still don't do it. They've heard goals are important, writing out a plan, this simple thing, plan, do the plan, measure the results of the plan, adjust the plan. Do the new adjusted plan, measure the results, adjust the plan, right? It's real simple. Plan, do, measure, adjust. Plan, do, measure, adjust. That's what we do. Well, what I want to give you here is I wrote this out today, simplified. It's all on a piece of paper here in front of me. I'm going to go through this and I'm going to go to the board. But I want you all to know something. When you're looking at a plan to make this happen, it all starts from our desire, first of all, and our belief in it. So you have to have a desire to make it happen, but then you got to believe it's possible. If you've got those two things, what do? Then you may take action. And then you got to be able to have the attitude and mindset to overcome when it doesn't go as easily as you hoped it would. Sometimes it'll go easier, sometimes it won't. So before we start anything, we need conviction that we say, okay, I'm going to look at this and I'm going to, you're here because you're watching. I assume you have the desire to make this goal happen, whatever your goal is. And then the second thing is you say, okay, I do believe in our funding. I do believe in our process. I do believe in the Bank Breezy team. I do believe in DAC. I do believe in all this so that I can make this goal happen. Number three, I will do the things that others are doing. As Ellen said, Nick shares his story. Don't compare yourself, but know that he's sharing what he does all the time to get these fundings. Just do the same thing. McGuire reached out yesterday for a few hours to some clients, did some follow-ups, got an application just by doing follow-up with some old contacts. People are thinking, so as long as we're doing the thing that we teach, it works. If we do what we're teaching, it works. So the third part is you got to have the desire, you got to have the belief in the process. But number three, you got to have the mindset and the attitude to overcome when it doesn't go as easily as you wanted it to, the emotional roller coaster. Some people think they're going to talk to 10 people and get a funding, and you might. But the odds are 4 in 10 of them need funding today, but they're not going to apply the moment you talk to them. Okay. They may, but you may whet their appetite a little bit. They may start thinking. But the reality is it doesn't always happen as fast. You're planting seeds. So whatever I'm going to show by way of a plan, it's just like if you're going to start getting in shape and you've decided I'm going to get in shape this year, anyone who's a personal trainer will say, don't expect the scale to drop immediately. Don't expect your strength to jump immediately. Right? They want to temper the attitude because human nature is if I don't get results right now, this doesn't work. And the reality is nothing works then in life. And people try 500 different things. That diet doesn't work. That diet, they all work. All of them work. If you keep working them. It doesn't matter which one you choose. They all work. Some are better than others, but every one of them works, right? And guess what? Everything we teach works. It's not, well, I don't know if this works. No, it works. It's, do you want to do it? So I'm going to show you a plan here. But before, I'm asking you to have the resolve to say, I will work the plan. Show me the plan. I'll do the plan. And even when it's not going as good as I hope, I'll keep doing it because over time, I'll have apples on my trees. Over time, I'll have the lifestyle that I'm trying to get. Okay. So, first thing I'm going to say is this, write these down. These are givens. These are givens. Number one in every 40 business owner conversations will turn into an application. On average, one in every 40 business owner conversation will turn into an application. If they're in your local market, one in every 40 will turn into a funding. Number two, 4 in 10 need funding today. 4 out of every 10 businesses need funding today. 6 in 10 will need funding sometimes this year. 4 in 10 need it today. 6 in 10 will need it this year. Now, some of them have it. Not saying they need to borrow it, but that's how many people need to invest into their business and have ideas. Number 3, the average commission for this plan is $2,000. Now, if you're where Ellen is, you're going to make more than $2,000 on an average funding, a lot more. But if you're brand new, you may only make $2,000 average. So we're just using $2,000 as the average funding commission. Now, if you get a small $10,000 funding, obviously you can't earn $2,000, right? They're only getting $10,000. So I'm just using some simplicity, some simple things here. That's obviously a $5,000 bonus revenue. So using the $80,000 average funding. All right, that is our average funding. So if it's not a giggle funding, that's our average funding. In fact, it's a little higher right now, but let's just say that's your average as a brand new broker. All right, so use 2,000 in these examples. I will say this, a couple givens. Local is 10 times easier, 10 times more productive. If you want to build distance building, cold market, you don't know anyone, you're not building in your local market, you're building just on the internet, you will have to approach 10 times as many businesses or you'll make 10 times less money. Just deal with the reality. If you can just stay in your zip code, stay in your area code, there's plenty of businesses in your area code, millions of dollars in funding in your area code. Just stay there. If you can stay in your area code and recruit someone in another area code who opens their area code, just stay local and you'll make 10 times as much money for the same effort. It's 10 times easier. And that's been proven if you're in life insurance, health insurance, it doesn't matter the product you're marketing. Local is 10 times easier. All right. Local gives you a moat. In our space, there is no local funding brokers. There's bank managers, there's mortgage people, and there's corporate lenders. That's bank product. There is no business funding brokers in the alternative funding space in your market unless you live in Manhattan or Miami, where all the funders live, right, and reside. But they're all calling. They're all using telemarketing, advertising, Facebook ads, TV ads. They're doing all the mass marketing and direct sales methods, which you have a moat. You know what a moat is? It's a river around the castle. You have that if you build local in your community. A telemarketer can't beat you if they know you. Now, if you're afraid to be known, you don't have a moat. You're cold market as well. You're not building local. It's going to be 10 times harder. You can still do it, but it is 10 times harder. If you become present, if you build local and you don't hide, and you're bold enough to believe in what you're marketing, you're bold enough to believe that we've got a benefit to business owners, you're bold enough to understand that the business owner is just a person. They're a husband, a wife, a brother, a sister, a son, a daughter, a mother, a father, and they'll go to bed the same way you. There's nothing special about them. This isn't, the top of aerospace company. You're not talking about Elon Musk here. You're not talking about the people he recruits to design rockets. You're talking about Joe, who was a chef who decided to start his own business. You're talking about Leslie, who was a contractor and decided to start her own plumbing company, right? So they're special, brave people. They got great things about them that you're going to love to know them, but they're not unapproachable. In fact, they're very approachable generally. They like being helped. They like when you say, hey, I care about helping business owners. I want to help my local clients get some funding. They actually appreciate it, right? Now, if you get to them right in the middle of the rush, they can't even handle a customer at that moment. It's not the right time to approach them because they're swamped. Of course, they might be a little short, but when not, They love you and they'll appreciate you. You're going to love business owners. They're wired just like you are. You're a broker, you're an independent thinker, you're an entrepreneurial spirit. You're here. They're the same way. You're going to love business owners. So, are you bold enough to be known in your local market? If so, you've got a competitive advantage. If not, you don't. In fact, you're at a competitive disadvantage because the telemarketing rooms have been doing it for a decade and they've trained scripts on what to say to manipulate, to get a yes, they got automated dialers calling, they got automated texting coming, they got ads coming, they got social campaigns, they're spending millions of dollars to generate customers. You're at a disadvantage if you're not going to build local. Just flat out, we're telling the truth. Now, you may be a super influencer online and you can do something great. Good for you. But if you're not already, you're at a disadvantage. But if you build local, you're at such an advantage. No one can touch you. Build in your area code. Okay? I don't think we can express that enough. All right. You will have a competitive, your renewals and referrals happen in your area code. You don't get referrals outside your area code. You get them in your area code. People know they got a local person. They love working local. So renewals and referrals happen more in your local area code. And of course, you can make a local impact. So it's easier to recruit people locally too. And you feel good. You drive by businesses you see every day that you helped. You actually care. And you'll see that restaurant's new sign, and you'll see their new kitchen oven, and you'll see their new productivity or their expansion. You'll actually see the impact you're making. And when you see that, it feels really good. You want to keep doing it. If it's across the street, across the country, you'll still feel good, but you won't see it as much. So I can't express enough. Believe in what we're doing, believe in your goal, have the mentality and attitude to keep going when it's not happening fast enough. But then the next thing is build local. Build local. The value of local cannot be expressed enough. Again, if you're a viral guy or gal and you can do, hey, get after it. Get out there and get it done. But if you're not, just build local and beat everyone's tail. Monopolize your marketplace. All you got to do is stay local. All right. But to this plan, if you don't want to build a team, I'm going to go in the value of a team in a minute. Actually, I'm going to go through this first before I go into the personal plan. There's a personal plan if you don't build a team, but I want to show you this first. Okay, these are the cash flow quadrants. Sorry about that reflection there. These are the cash flow quadrants. I didn't change it much. It's a little less bright. Okay, cash flow quadrants, and these are put in the new training we just did too. But this is what this is. These are the 4 ways you make money as a person. You have employee, 2 E's, but 1 E in the data processing world because they wanted to save characters. You have employee, you have self-employed, you have business owner, and you have investor. Okay? These are the 4 ways you earn money. All right? Employee, self-employed, business owner, investor. Why is it so blurry? I got my blurry background. Hang on one second.
I was just about to say, thanks.
Bear with me 1 minute. Blur my background? No, that's not it. Video settings, bear with me. Okay, did that get better?
Nope, not yet.
Okay, bear with me 1 second.
My only suggestion would be maybe sliding. Oh,
There
there
we
you
go.
go. That just did it. Yep.
I had portrait lighting on. Didn't know that was a thing. Apparently it does that for you, portrait lighting. Okay, that looks a lot better, doesn't it?
Much.
Okay, cool. So employee, self-employed, business owner, investor. Now, what is this all about? What this is all about is 4 ways to earn money. The left side here, this is you exchange time for money. If you're an employee, you get paid salary, hourly, etc. As long as you're working, you get paid. Here's the great thing about being an employee. There's some sense of security, of stability, of guaranteed pay, right? There's a guaranteed pay feeling. As long as the company doesn't lay off, close, fire, etc., right? But there's more stability. And even if they do, you can go to a new company and become an employee there, right? Now you have a boss, you have the downsides of it, but income-wise, there's a sense of stability, right? But if you stop working, you get paid. No. So you must obviously always be working. Self-employed, you've built your own job. You've bought a job. The self-employed person still, they're their own boss, which is awesome. They have more freedom. They have a no income cap on their income. They can make unlimited money. They're self-employed, where employees got a cap, right? But self-employed, you can make significant money, but you bought a job and you only earn if you produce, right? The self-employed person can earn as much as they want, but if they're not working, they're not earning. That's what self-employed is. So if you're a plumber, you can make great money being a plumber every day doing plumbing work, right? And you can make your own schedule, only work 3 days a week if you want. But if you don't work and you don't do any plumbing, you don't earn. Self-employed, but still it's better. So you're limited because you're trading time for money. All right. You got to give up time to make money. Business owner is someone who has a system. So the right side, these are people who have things that make them money whether they're working or not. So this is income comes in because of a system, an investment, a business ownership, a team of brokers, whatever it is that you have here, you build it once. It's an income producing asset. Not asset like you learned in accounting, plant and equipment. I'm talking about an income producing asset. So something that makes you money because you built it, bought it, invested in it, whatever, it makes you money whether you're working or not. So if you own a Subway restaurant and you don't do anything in it except pay the manager to run it and you get 20 grand a year, you are a business owner for that Subway restaurant. It makes you 20,000 a year. You're not making a sandwich. You're not, but if you own Subway and you got to be there, and if you're not there, you don't earn, you're self-employed. Well, no, I'm a business. You're called a business owner, but for this sake, you're self-employed because you need to be there. You got to trade time for money. You may own your own business and maybe called a business. You're all self-employed in DAC unless you've built a big business that's making you all kinds of money in overrides, whether you work or not. Then you're not a business owner yet. You're not a business owner with DAC yet. You're self-employed. Now, self-employed, you get tax advantages. You get a 1099, so you get a profit and loss from a business. So you can write off your phone bill. You can write off Zoom. You can write off all kinds of neat things, bills, expenses, coffees, things you're doing to grow your business. You can write them off as expenses off your income. It's benefit. But business owners, where we're trying to get you to. Business owner is someone who's earning whether you're working or not. Renewals are like business ownership, but more importantly in DAC, it is having an agency. So this is an agency that you earn on whether you get a new customer or not. Okay, whether you're in it every day talking to clients or not, how big's your agency? Let me give an example. A real estate agent, self-employed. They get paid every time they sell a home or help someone buy a home, right? A real estate broker who opened that office is still self-employed if they got to be there every day, even though they have agents in their team. But eventually that real estate broker gets to the point where they got a manager running the office. They got someone pushing all the paper. They got someone onboarding the new agents and training the new agents. They got someone working with all the legal complexities, and they're retired. That broker's gone doing something else. Their shingles on the building still, ABC at Century 21, but they're done. They're no longer working it every day because they've hired out all the processes. Right? They're a business owner. They're making money every year out every home sold, even though they're not out there doing anything. The brokers who are still doing everything self-employed. You move through this, right? In our business, DAC, systems, processes, funding trainings, funding handling, commission payouts, all that's done by a third party. DAC does all the commissioning. DAC does all the broker support. You do too, training support, sales support. Bank Breezy team does all the presenting of the offer to the client. All you got to do is bring the brokers and bring the client apps. Bring the brokers, bring the client apps. I'm oversimplifying, but as you can get an agency who does that, when you have an agency doing that, you're earning overrides every single week, whether you got a client or not. Now, so right now, the best thing about DAC is you can be an employee and you should have income guaranteed from somewhere, because on commission only with us, you wouldn't want to be a real estate agent and need to make money this month or next month or the following month. You got bills to pay. You shouldn't be a full-time real estate agent. You're not going to make full-time money right away. You shouldn't be a full-time life insurance agent, health insurance agent, any type of agent. That's for moving through the process and becoming an agency. Make sure you're making your money somewhere else and build this part-time. Work part-time on your fortune while you're working full-time on your job. So don't count on DAC as being your full-time income. It may be, just like a real estate career could be, but you never should count on that. There's not a broker in the world in real estate who'd say, yeah, quit your job and do this full-time, unless you don't need the money, because you're not going to make full-time money in real estate anytime soon. It's going to take 10. You might get a big commission this month and nothing for 4 months. So it's the same thing with this. But when you build an agency, now you build stability. Remember what an employee had? You had stability and a sense of stability and a sense of guaranteed income. Well, once you have an agency, you don't have it when you're self-employed in DAC. When it's just you may get a client this month, you may get a renewal, you may make some money, but you don't have stability yet. Unless you perform and are good at performing no matter what, getting new clients. But when you have a business ownership, when you have an agency of a lot of different brokers, and let's say you have 25 to 30 active brokers trying to build their local market, 25 to 30 brokers trying to build their local market. How many? 25 to 30 trying to build their local market. You're starting to get stability. Got 25 or 30 trying to build on the web? No, you don't have stability. You have 25, 30 trying to build through telemarketing? You don't have stability. You have 25, 30 who are trying to be social influencers? You don't have stability. But if you got 25 or 30 who buy into the local dominant, local competitive advantage, local marketplace, I'm going to meet, greet, and inform, make sure every business in my local community knows this. If you got 25 or 30, you're doing 5 to 10 fundings a week through your 25 or 30. And if you're making $500 each overrides at 5 fundings a week, you're making $2,500 a week as an agency business owner. That's $100,000 a year, right? $2,500 a week is over $100,000 a year, but you need 25 people trying to build their local market. You could have 2,500 to say, I'm going to do this. And none of them care about local. All of them think they can make one video and get rich. All of them think they can become the Disney influencer, and all, you know what? They may stumble into something, but let's just talk reality. If you want to be a good real estate agent, monopolize your local marketplace. You want to be a good DAC funding agent, monopolize your local marketplace. But I don't want to do that. Then you shouldn't be in real estate. Well, I don't want to do that. Then you shouldn't be in funding. I don't want to talk to business owners. Then go market meal replacement shakes. I don't want to market those. Well, then go start a business. I don't have the money to start a business. Then get over what you're not willing to do and start doing some things that don't feel comfortable until they feel comfortable. Do you believe our funding's good for people? Do you believe that business owners need capital? Do you believe that we're the best offer in capital when they can't get it from their bank because we bring in the best offer? If so, then do you want to spread that message? Then do it. If not, then don't do this. Do something else. You don't believe. The part 1 was, I got to believe in this plan, right? And I got to have the attitude to go through it when it's not working as fast as I want it to. When I'm jumping on the scale and my weight didn't go down, I'm still going to follow the meal plan. I'm still going to follow the workout. I'm still going to meet, greet, and inform, even though none of them have applied for funding yet. I'm still going to follow the training of meet, greet, and inform. Even when my buddy says, that's crazy. Even when someone else says, dude, everyone thinks that diet works. That diet doesn't work. No, every diet works. Quit being ignorant and listening to people who say something doesn't work. That's what you want to say to the person. They all work. People don't work them. DAC works. People don't work DAC. People don't talk to their local market. People don't meet, greet, and inform and go, I talked to 10 businesses. Yeah, so unfortunately, if you think you're going to talk to 10 and get a funding client, you've been misled. Or you've got to mature in your thinking. If we know 4 in 10 businesses need funding today, but they got to trust that they may go apply without you. You may prompt them to do something. They may not even use you because you're coming in with commission breath. So if we can all just man up and woman up, you can't make 100 grand a year without being a man or a woman, someone who can endure some stuff, someone who can endure a business owner saying that pricing is too high. Yeah, it is. If you don't have a good reason, 5 cents on the dollar is too high. The bank rates are too high. That car loan's too high if you don't have a good use for having a car. Right? There's no money that costs the right amount of money if you don't have a good use for it. But there's no cost that's too high when you got a great use. So if we don't have the maturity to deal with this, it doesn't matter what plan we give, we'll quit the moment someone says, I got to pay weekly. What kind of company would make you pay weekly instead of monthly? I'm used to monthly. Hey, if you can qualify for monthly with the bank, you can get monthly. Our industry, alternative capital, it's cash flow based. We take a little bit each week. That's just the way every provider, sometimes every day, 20 times a week, because you have cash flow coming in every day. We're taking a little piece of it. It's revenue based. That's the way it works. But hey, I get it. It's something you've never seen before, but you'll come to love it. You'll come to love cash flow. So when you learn how to perspective manage and you go through our funding training, everything that we've talked about already is talked about on there. So if you follow the training and watch it over and over and over again until you could do it yourself, and then you believe it, you see all the things we cover on there and why we cover them, and you understand it and believe it, then you can overcome any emotional roller coaster you're on. And over time, you'll meet, greet, and inform as a self-employed, a lot of clients, and you'll end up having an agency where you're making nice overrides every week. But if you don't do this, if not DAC, do you all see the value of being a business owner and an investor? Where you put money into things that's making you money every month, or if you have a business or a system that's making you money every month, whether you're working out, this is where freedom happens. Freedom happens only on the right side. You're not free here, self-employed. You're not. You don't have a boss, but you also aren't free. Because if you quit, your income quits. You're not free here. And you're not free here. Because if you don't go to work, you're going to get let go. You're only free. You may have enough money coming in while you're doing this because you're willing to exchange the time and the work for the money. You're willing to exchange the time and the work. That's work for workout. That's a barbell. You're willing to change your work and your time for money. You'll exchange them. Over here, you've put in the system. So we want you to go like this. Become self-employed in DAC. Let's build your agency. And as we build your agency, what you have is you have an agency that's producing you overrides of about $500 for every funding forever. And all of a sudden it's producing 5 a week, 10 a week, 20 a week, 30 a week, 50 a week, or just one a month. One a month doesn't set you free, but it's a lot better than not having this. How much override do you make at your job right now? How much override do you get? Do you get $50 a broker, $50 an employee? Do you get that? Do you get an override at your job today? Do you get an override as a self-employed electrician on every electrical work that's done in your town by some other electrician? No, you're self-employed. Here you have the option, right? So before we get into the plan, do you understand why our plan is focused on agency most? Because we can give you a plan of being self-employed, and we're going to. I'm going to show you a plan, how simple it is to do the plan, but I'm also going to show you a plan for this. And let's move on, and we're almost done. Because the plan is simple. It's kind of like we spend more time talking about why you want to get in shape than what the plan is to get in shape. Because hopefully you understand the cash flow quadrants is all about helping you become a profitable business owner. All right. Now, next thing I want to say, let's talk about the self-employed plan. This is just self. Self equals, remember I said, what's the given? About $2,000 a client, $2,000 of funding. Will you make more? Some, yeah. Of course, you get $100,000 funding with $8,000 bonus revenue. It's $3,200 instead of $2,000, right? But if you only get a $10,000 funding with $800 bonus revenue, you're only going to make $320, right? So this is the average. So $2,000 funding. So what's your income? What do you want to make this year? 100,000, 50,000, 200,000, whatever it is, divided by $2,000. Okay, that becomes how many fundings you have to have. Sorry about that light there. Not a whole lot I can do about it. This is 50 fundings. This is 25 fundings. This is 100 fundings. Okay. That's how many fundings you have to do this year. So here's the great thing. When you're building local, it's as if it's just you. When you're building local, if you got 400 businesses that know you by name in your town over time, take a year, 2026. You talk to 30 businesses a month to make sure they get to know you and you keep following up with them. You got 400 at the end of the year that you now know who you are. You're going to do about 1 in 10 are going to get funding every year. Actually, it's probably more like 2 in 10. We'll get it from you. 4 in 10 needed. About 2 in 10. Of those 4 in 10, 3 are only eligible for your type funding. And let's say you're good enough with them where they feel comfortable with you. You didn't just meet them once. You get 2 in 10 of them to fund through you. Well, 2 out of every 10, that's 40. That's 80 clients. 80 clients. And you can see that's in this area. 80 times 2,000 is 160 grand. Now, if you said, well, wait a minute. So if you tell me if I meet, greet, and inform, and I stay local, and I help 400 clients, 400 businesses in my town who are eligible for funding, obviously. I'm not talking about the food truck who does one show every 6 months. And they do $5,000 a month in sales in that 6 months. And it's a part-timer who's making a little extra money. Those are gig fundings. I'm talking about the 15,000 and higher, the brick and mortar places. You got 400 businesses who end up knowing who you are by the end of the year. Will you do 80 fundings? Absolutely. I believe that based on the number of local clients who know me and who apply and reach out for funding. Now, it may not be that high. If it double, David, you said 400 and I had 400 and I didn't make that. Okay, remember the emotional roller coaster. If I tell you do this workout every year, and I bet your strength will increase by this. I bet we can get you off that blood pressure medication. I bet we can do this, and it takes you 6 months to get off blood pressure medication instead of 3. Do you really want to get upset, or do you want to say, I wish my doctor would have told me about this plan to get off my blood pressure instead of just getting me another pill and filling my prescription? I wish he would have given me a plan. Yeah, it took me 6 months instead of 3, but still, it was a plan. We're giving you a plan. It may take 600 for you. You may not be real comfortable talking to people. You may only approach them once. It may take 1,000 for you who know who you are before you're making 150 grand, before you get 80 clients. You may need 1,000. But if you follow our training and you nurture and you care and you comment and you do everything we teach in our business funding training to take care of your local market, then I bet if you have 400, you'll make that. Because there's a lot of business owners are getting capital in your town, just not using you. A lot of them are getting capital in your town, just not using you. And you know how I know that is because I go talk to local business and I find out they've already got a position. They got an MCA in the last 2 years, and yet I'm in this town and they didn't use me because they didn't know me. So make sure you get the word out. Okay, this is your personal plan. Now, if you want to put a higher number to be more realistic, okay, instead of walking 40 minutes a day, I'm going to walk 80 to make this goal. Then you do that. You do what makes you feel, I believe in this plan. That's the whole key. Now, how do you reach out local? Text, email, phone, local, walk in, canvas as a customer, networking, chamber of commerce events, everything we teach in the training. It's not knocking doors, although it involves walking in and meeting people. It's not telemarketing, although it involves using the phone. It's not text marketing, although it involves texting. It's not just networking events, but it involves networking events. You don't do just one. It's all out blitz. All of them you do. All of them you do. Just like if you were dating someone you wanted to go out with, you're going to text sometimes. You're going to call sometimes. You're going to want to meet live in person sometimes. You're going to want to go out sometimes. You're going to want to have conversations about life sometimes. And you're also going to joke sometimes. You're going to be real and natural. It's the same thing you do in this business. Just be yourself. You don't need to have I got to telemarket 10 people a day. Hey, it's good to have a minimum quantity. We're going to get into that in a second. So here's where your numbers have to be. Stay local. If you don't want to go local, take this 400, make it 4,000. If you thought 400 wasn't realistic, well, go outside your local market. Now you need 4,000 businesses who you've contacted to get 80 clients. Which would you rather do? 400 in your area code or 4,000 outside your area code? 400, 4,000, 400, 4,000. It's pretty simple. Now I'm giving you generalities, of course. It's not going to be that specific, but the concepts are the same. All right. So that's your plan to your income level. Now, how many quantity of conversations must you have to get to 400, 600, whatever the number is that you had to come for them? Whatever you had to do there, if you know 1 in 10 who know who you are going to get a funding, you need 25, then you need 250 business owners. 1 in 10 are going to get a funding. So you need 250 business owners locally to know who you are to get 25 clients. Now you may find, hey, I only talked to 50 and I got 25 clients. Absolutely, you might. The numbers will go to your side, but just why not go for the worst case and just get to know them all, right? So this is a personal plan. Now, so write down how many you need to talk to. How many do you need to talk to get to your 1 in 10 will fund? In fact, just use 1 in 10 for sake of example. Whatever number is, multiply that by 10. That's how many businesses you need to talk to this year, who need to know who you are. And if you said, hey, who's David Rutz? They go, oh, that's that DAC guy. They need to know you by that, not just you've talked to them once. They need to know you. They need to know who you are. You get to know them better. You reach out to them once in a while. You remind them every once in a while. Okay. So this works 100% of the time. Now, if you live in another country like Nick, yeah, you can do it over the phone. Or Matt, you can do it just over the phone. But you're at a disadvantage. You know how many businesses Nick calls to get a client? A lot. You know how many Matt has called? Thousands in his history here. Most of you don't want to do that, and I don't want you to feel like you have to do it. But if you stay in your local area code, no one will touch you and you make an impact. You got a moat around you, okay? So here's your business. That's a castle. That is your business. Okay? We'll make the castle look a little bit, I don't know. And what is this? That's called a moat, right? No one can get into that. It's your baby. All the telemarketers, they're trying to get in here. They're trying to call into your market. They can't. You put a moat around it. They're not going to get in there. They're not getting in there. They know you. All right. So this is your personal plan. Do you believe it? Can you do it? Number one. Now, this is all great. How many people do you got to talk to? One of the homework questions you're going to get in a minute is how many do you need to talk to per week to hit your goal? So what do you have to talk to? Income divided by 2,000 times 10 is how many businesses you need to talk to if you want a summary. Income, 100,000 divided by 2,000 equals 50 clients times 10. I need 500 businesses in my local community who know who I am. You may do it with only 100, but why not shoot for, okay, I got my work cut out for me. 40 a month times 12 months equals 48, 480. I'm almost there. So I need to talk to 50 a month times 12 months, and I'll talk to 600 and I'll overshoot this. 600 is I'm going to meet them and I'm going to greet them and I'm going to follow up with them, send them texts, come up with a system to follow. So this is a model. You go, that's a lot, David. You're making 100 grand. Okay. There you go. There's your plan for personal. Now let's talk about agency. Remember, that was this. You're doing it all yourself. A lot of conversations, do it yourself. Business owners, when you get an agency, if you're making $500 of funding on your team and $2,000 on your personal, you won't always make 500. But assuming you're getting clients, you're getting override spreads, and you're getting 4% minimum override, right? So you're making some money there. 200 is the minimum on average, but then you have override spreads, you're earning some as well. So just use 500 as the number. And you go, okay, wait a minute now. You said if I want to make $100,000 a year, do it all myself, I need 50 clients at $2,000 personal. Wait a minute, $100,000 a year. If they're my team's clients, $500, I need 200 fundings of other people's, not even my own. If I had 200 fundings from someone else, I'm making 5,000. Yeah. So if I had a team of 20 who did 10, I'm making $100,000. Yeah. Wait a minute. I can do all that work and make it self-employed, or I can employ the efforts of others. So it can be me plus 2 And if they all just did 10 clients, that's 20 clients this year at 500, they made 10,000 on their efforts. Yeah. Huh. And if it's me and 5 and they all did 10 clients, that'd be 50 times 500. I'd make 25 grand on their efforts. Yeah. So if I wanted to make 100 grand just on their efforts at 500, I need 200. Well, how do I get to 200 clients, not myself? Well, it's about 4 a week. 4 a week? What? Yeah, just 4 a week. So if I had 4 clients a week coming into my team, so here's me, I get mine plus 4 a week in my team at 500. I'm making $100,000 a year. Yeah, maybe more, because you may make more than 500 if you climb the ladder and be like where Ellen is, and you're getting up there, or where Matt is, or Nick is, or I am, or Wade is, or McGuire is, or whoever the person is you want to talk about right now. Climb the ladder, and then you earn a bit more than this in override spreads. If the average funding is 8,000 and 5,000 bonus revenue, if you're making 10% override, you're at 500. That's just 10% override, not counting your 4% override. So this is a very conservative thing if you've climbed the ladder, right? So as you're getting clients, you're making a lot more than 10% of that 5,000 bonus revenue. So this is, I get commission checks all of a sudden, $2,200. What's that for? And I look, it was only one client. I'm like, there was only one funding yesterday, and I made $2,200 on him in my team. Yeah. So you look at your override spreads, and I'm looking at, my goodness, you all know I don't get a salary in DAC, but the override spreads I get are significant. A lot more than I'd pay myself on salary, because I'm business owner level. I work this still every day. I'm still self-employed, but my team is producing volume. Our team, DAC, your team, is producing volume every single day. Every day there's fundings. Every day, how many are in your team? So, and not everyone in DAC is in my team. Unless I recruited the people. We partnered with some companies where I didn't recruit the people. So they're not my team. So this is showing you why business ownership matters. So now, okay, well, what's the plan, Dave, to do that? Watch how easy this is. When DAC started, it was me, right? And I'm going to go through the story real quick, and then because it's how you're going to do it too. When I was a young guy, I had an advertising company, and I had a discount card, and we went out and got businesses to advertise in our discount card. And it was before the internet and anything like that. So we had this little discount card, and I did it at my college campus while I was a college student. And I had this idea, hey, I can buy one, get one free at the Taco Bell, and buy one, get one free at McDonald's, and I can get to the front of the line privileges at the bar at night when there's this long line and cover charge. Maybe I can even get no cover charge. So I just went out to all these businesses and myself, and it took me a full semester to talk and get 12 businesses who'd agree to give me buy one, get one free at McDonald's, and buy one, get one free at Taco Bell, and front of the line privileges at Rick's Bar, and front of the line privileges at Scorekeepers, and no cover charge, and dollar pitchers at this place. So I just got discounts. And I said, I'm only going to put one sports bar in this. Is it going to be you? I'm only putting one fast food. It's going to be Burger King or McDonald's. It's going to be you. I want to advertise for you. I'm going to sell thousands of these, and convinced as a 22-year-old a bunch of business owners that they should be on my card, right? But I did it myself. You know how scary it was? You know how much I didn't have a contract to give them. I didn't know what I was going to have them agree to. I didn't know how to make the card. Didn't know how to do any of it, right? So I did it all myself, and it was scary. I still did it, but I was scared the whole time. And I ended up selling a bunch of cards. And because of that, I had some people go, man, I want to do that. I want to do that. And I thought when I was graduating, I'm like, I did it at Ann Arbor. I kept it another year or two, and I would go up there and sell the cards. But I thought, why am I limiting it to a college town? There's 13 businesses there. I could take this. So I said, I'm going to take this into my town where I live, Macomb County, back home, instead of this college town. But I'm going to compete with entertainment books. And I started thinking about how many businesses that I have to talk to. And I'm like, I got to talk to thousands of businesses to get 1,000 in my book. Entertainment books this thick just for my county. How many oh my God, to get all those businesses would take me forever. And I'm working at General Motors at the time. How am I going to do this and this? And I remember I said, I'm going to talk to a buddy. So I first started talking to business. I did it all on my own. And I thought if I had a buddy who we did it together, we could divide and conquer. And then me and a buddy turned into me and then two buddies, and then me and four buddies. And we're all going out and I'm telling them, hey, you can get a percentage of every card sold, but it's going to take a time. It's going to take a while. And I'm giving them a little bit of money now. I'm trying to give them a little bit of money, but they were doing it on commission. They're like, we'll do this part-time with you. And over time, me and a buddy, and then me and two buddies, and me and four buddies turned into 1,300 businesses signed up into this thing in our county. It took us a full year to get 1,300 to sign a contract. That means we talked to a lot more than 1,300. But it was me and a buddy, local, me and a buddy, and me and two, and then me and three buddies. Why do I say that? Because when I started DAC, what do you think I had? Prior to that, I owned companies that sold direct to consumer. Didn't talk to businesses. So I had a meal replacement company. I had a juice company. I had a telecom company, and they morphed but we were dealing with getting personal customers. We'd recruit someone to have them get 10 or 15 personal customers, their mom, their dad, their aunt, their uncle, their friend. It wasn't a business owner. So when I launched DAC, I'm like, I haven't sold to businesses since 92. By the way, Entertainment Book sued us before we ever launched our book. They sued us. We were that good. They sued us. And we had to change the name of our book, and it pretty much crippled us. It cost us 100 grand, and we were kids, right? 100 grand is what it cost us. We had already printed the books. So it ended up killing that company. It shows how being a business owner can be hard when you're competing with the big boys, right? But I learned. What I learned is how to get business customers. So when I launched David Allen Capital, what model do you think I had? I had the model of the telemarketer. I had the model of the text marketer, the social influencer, the advertising, all that. But I also had my multi-level marketing, direct marketing, network marketing background. But I had, more importantly, my ability to get businesses to join my savings company. And I said, I did that local. It was me alone, then me and a buddy. So the first thing I did after I got my contracts with different lenders here is I called a buddy. Said, hey, I got this funding product. I think it's pretty exceptional. Would you like to go prospecting with me a little bit? Just talk to some business owners. I didn't go alone. I called a buddy. And me and he went out. And it went so well talking local. So this is a handout. I mean, are you kidding me? This is going to be simple. And back then we had one requirement: 2 years in business, 20,000 a month, 700 FICO score. That's what we were taking to the market. And we got 3 clients our first week. I'm like, oh my God, 200,000, 110,000, 70,000. And all we were doing was canvassing locally, saying, hey, we can help you with funding. We're launching this funding company. I was a business, couldn't get funding. We just love helping entrepreneurs. We're just me and a buddy. And then not one of them was my client because we were together. So they were his clients. And then he was doing it. We lived 40 minutes apart. So he was talking to businesses on his own when we weren't buddying up. And he was talking to someone, I was talking to someone. All of a sudden I'm like, dude, if you got anyone else who wants to buddy up with you, we'll make him a broker of DAC, and you and he can do it there, and I'll do it out here. And all of a sudden we started growing. In that quick. We had no website. We had no training. We had no PowerPoint show. We had a funding product that was hard to qualify for. But more importantly than that, a free wave you can join and a buddy who's willing to go prospecting with you. And from that week forward, we never did less than, in our first year, we didn't have a week where we were under 300,000 in funding. And there were 10 of us. So when I show you this local plan, I'm showing you what I did. Now, I taught it at the early stages, and a lot of people weren't willing to do it. And then a big network marketing company I knew called me and said, we'd love you to become the president of our company. I'm like, I just launched DAC. And they're like, yeah, but hey, maybe that service can be part of our company. Maybe you can bring that service into our company and you can come work with us. They're called Longevity. And they said, if you can come over, and we'll let you keep doing that funding service. And what I did, I changed it to what a network marketer would do. I didn't demand local marketing. I didn't demand monopolize your local marketplace. We said to do it, but we allowed anyone to do whatever they wanted to do because they were, after all, it was 100,000 reps and they were marketing meal replacement shakes and nutrition products and other things. They may know a business owner. We didn't say, hey, monopolize your local marketplace, because they were nutrition people. They weren't going to go monopolize their local marketplace for funding. So we just said, hey, refer a friend, be a bird dog, share someone you know, just tell a business owner you know. And it worked and it did funding. But every time we focus local, we kick butt. Every time we don't, we lagger. We do some fundings, but if you want to win, the best funding we've ever had is people going local. We've never had someone beat local. Never had someone in the first week earn. We've had a few people in the first week make 10 grand, and every one of them were local. Not one of them did it through social influencing. Not one of them did it telemarketing. Not one of them. So when we say build local, we're no longer teaching anything but build local. Have you noticed the last couple of weeks, it's kind of been like a focus on local. We're coming up with everything local because that's how I built my business. That's how we built DAC before we partnered with that big company. And then unfortunately, we met some good people, but it hurt the company's growth because we stopped the model that was working most. And we lost all the brokers who were building it the way we did at first. They didn't want to be involved with a network marketing company partnership. They wanted to be a business funding company only. We had a senator who worked in our company. We had law firms who were brokers who all quit. They said, we're not interested in being a DAC broker if you're partnered with a network marketing company. I looked at it as 100,000 reps. Boy, how many we could help. And I wouldn't have known a lot of the people that we have now if we didn't do this. Matt DeHame, I met there. He was a longevity rep who then joined DAC because of it. So we wouldn't have certain things. So I can't look back at it, but for 6 years, we invested trying to make that happen. 6 or 7. This is the first year we just isolated. We now have an agreement effective last month where we're no longer tied there. We now can go forward and run super hard. So every one of you that's here, if you want to plan for this, I shared all that story to say it's proven. It's the most effective thing DAC's ever done. And I know a lot of old training was teaching other models because we were trying to teach people who were part-timers, who were focused on other products, and funding was just an add-on. We've got one product right now, funding. Yeah, we got payment processing on the back end and we come along. But for every payment processing application, we get 200 funding applications. So we're not a payment processing company. We have it. Don't lead with it. You don't have a competitive advantage there. It's nice to add on to your clients. If they're not interested in funding, mention it to them. You can lower their fees. But they've heard that for the last 3 years already from someone else. There's people pounding every town locally. So you could do it. If you got a warm market friend, let's talk to them. But you are a funding competitive advantage. No one can touch your Bank Breezy funding platform. No one can touch it in your local town. You want to moat, be the local funding person in your town. Nobody can touch you unless it's another DAC broker in that town. There's 2 Century 21 agents in my town. One of them I would use over the other because that one's a pro, the other one's kicking it around. Right. And then there's 5 EXP agents in my town, real estate agents. One of them's hitting it hard and the other 4 are kicking it around. Who am I going to use to sell my home? And then there's 50 Keller Williams agents I know. And one of them or 2 of them are just doing everything special. And the other ones are just kicking it around. Who do you want to be? Just kicking it around? Or do you want to be the one that they go, that is my DAC funding broker right there. If I'm going to need funding, it's this person. You know how you do it? You monopolize your marketplace by being first and doing it the way we're teaching. That means build local, stay local, build local, stay local. You want to expand outside your town, recruit someone in that other town. So that's a lot of vision and a lot of mindset and a lot of belief and strategy before we get into these steps. But if you believe that, remember I said you got to believe, number one, you got to have a goal, but then you got to believe it'll happen. And then you have the mental toughness to get through it. If you don't believe everything I just said, DAC is not for you. If you're a social influencer, then you can do it on your own without help. We'll take care of your clients, but we're not going to teach you anything because we don't know social influence. If you're already that, hey, we'll take care of your customers better than anyone else can. Send them our way. Right. But if you are here because you're saying, I want to get to the right side of this, I'm sick of being just this, I'm not free. I'm sick of just being self-employed, I'm not free. I need to be a business owner. I need to own something here that's kicking me off money every single week. Then you need an agency network. Here's your plan. Go through it quick now. How to launch the team. Number one, find one buddy, local. Well, I got a friend in Seattle. Great. You live in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Recruit your guy in Seattle. Great. But focus on someone local who can be your buddy to go, you and a buddy, just like I did. My buddy lived an hour away, but we met halfway and we canvassed together and we worked on it together and we followed the plan together. Right? So you and a buddy, that's number one. It's the first thing you got to do is recruit one who's willing to get after this with you. Number two, then you and three buddies. You and three. Then number three, they recruit their buddies. They recruit, you got him and a buddy, him and a buddy, her and a buddy, right? They follow the find a buddy plan. I don't want a buddy. Okay. Then good luck duplicating a team. Because if you're not going to support someone, don't expect them to make it. You recruit 10 people and don't follow the buddy plan and don't take the personal trainer with the person who wants to get in shape and that you're going to encourage, you're going to give the plan, you're going to call them, see how they're doing, you're going to work out with them. They'll get in shape. You don't do any of that. You just sell them a membership and you hope they're not going to get in shape. 90% won't. Just count on it. If you're not willing to do the you and a buddy, that's okay. You can recruit people, but expect them to quit. Don't expect them to make it. I'm speaking real. I'm looking at the numbers. I see the 700 people who joined in the last couple months and how many of them are doing anything. And I see the ones who are working closely with someone and how many of them are doing something. You'll get a handful, a sprinkling. 1 out of every 300 will do something who just joins. But when you're holding someone's hand and you're buddying with them and you're in this together with them, they always make it. So first thing, you and a buddy. Second thing, you and 3 buddies. Third thing, they start talking to their buddies. Number 4, you have a team of 3 to 5 active brokers in your market. 3 to 5 active in your market. So once you got one is, let me get a new marker because I lost my cat. You plus 1, you got it? Then you plus 3. Then they plus 1. See what's happening here? You and 1, then you and 3, and then they have 1. Your team's starting to, your agency's starting to grow. But they have a buddy. They don't just have someone who joined. They have a buddy who they're doing it with. You're actually doing it together. Same way I called my buddy. Hey, I want to go talk to the business owners. I want to help the business owners of this community. You want to check it out? Look at this funding product. We had no training. We had a belief in the product and a willingness to talk to businesses. And we got 3 clients our first week. And we only did it for 2 days. We believed. We were together. We went in and we broke through the doors. We weren't afraid to talk to them. We had a buddy. I was buddied up. I was at business who couldn't get a funding. Are you kidding me? This is easier than getting someone to sign up to give away free double buy one, get one free. We're going in to help this business owner with money to grow. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? We're not selling you anything. We're giving you money. We're giving you an option for cash. Are you kidding me? This is a breeze. This is simple. Let's go have some fun with this. Some people don't want to do it. I get it. You and their buddies. So they and their buddies. Then you have a team of 3 to 5. Active. That means they're prospecting. They're calling the warm market. They're following our local market plan, which you're going to see in a minute. That grows to 20 to 25 in your team. They won't all be local. This grows to different markets. You'll have different markets because as they're talking to people, it'll grow. So these are the steps. You got to look at this. Where do you stand in this? When you got a team of 20 to 25, you will have active. You'll have 5 to 6 fundings a week at $500. That's over $100,000 a year. As a business owner. So this is your checklist this year. You want to plan for this year, start with you and a buddy, then you and 3 buddies. Then they're going to be doing the same thing. They're going to start getting a buddy. And then over time, you'll have 3 to 5 active. And those 3 to 5 over time by going into new markets themselves and all doing these steps, you'll have 20 to 25 active and you'll have 5 to 6 fundings. Now, all of these you're going to put into your local leader plan. And that's the next thing, the local market checklist. Okay, so this is all written down here. Okay, value team took me a long time. A local market checklist, which is right here. We went through it if you were on the local market call. This is all you do. You just do this with all those people. The local market checklist with this 20 to 25, because then you're taking care of them in what way. It means like, Hey, we're all going to get in shape. We're all going to meet at the gym and work out together on Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Oh, I can't. I can only do Tuesday, Thursdays. No problem. We're going to team you up with the Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday group then. No problem. The key is that we're going to work out with you at some point. Okay, all right, good. And then we're gonna all set our goals together. We're gonna meet together on Mondays. We're gonna get together at Starbucks and talk about our health, our goal. We're gonna go some updates, some wins. Joe got off his prescription medication. Lisa lost 15 pounds. Tony did his first 5K. Johnny did. This is all it takes to succeed in life. This is all it takes is a momentum plan to follow, and you stick with it and you buddy up with some people. That's a lot, David. No, it's not a lot. You do it right now with your family. Who you get together with people to watch games, to gamble, to play cards, you get together all the time. Get together for something healthy. Get together something for healthy. Your local list. It's covered in the recruiting training. I'm not going to go through it all, but tell me if any of this is not doable. Number one, select your market. Number two, build your local agency team, 5 to 7 active people. Number three, set up team communication, group text, Zoom, etc. Number four, make sure you're going through this plan with the income plan with everyone who joins in the business. Number five, canvas your local area with a buddy and climb that company ladder until you get up to the NMO level at 80%. Number five, network in your local business community, Chamber of Commerce, BNIs, etc. Ask for referrals now and then when you talk to a business owner. What other business owners do you think could use my services? It's conversational. Number seven, keep replenishing your team. And number eight, duplicate into nearby towns. Is anything on there require a PhD? It's all this simple. I had a buddy who does property and casualty auto insurance, and he switched over. I switched over my homeowners, my car, and my boat to him, and my umbrella policy to him. I met him at a chamber meeting, right? Supporting local. And guess who he's going to refer businesses to, right? So we're just taking care of each other. But he saved me over $2,000. And I said, this is awesome. He goes, it's really good. The problem is I've reached my max of number of customers I can have. My insurance company doesn't allow me to get any more customers unless I build on other agents because I've bought some companies. So I've got a lot more customers than I could personally take care of. And they don't want a bad experience for our customers. So I have to build more agents. I can't take care of my market good enough, just me. I can't take care of all my customers, just me alone. Okay. So they don't allow me. They've capped me. I can't get any more. I said, what kind of training they give you? None. What do you mean? They don't give me any training on a recruited broker? No, they give me a pay plan. I get overrides. It's my job to recruit and train them. They don't give you a recruiting training? No. What do you need a recruiting training for? It's like, I know my business. I'm looking for people who want to do this too. I tell them about it and see if they want to go get licensed. I mean, what training do you need? Bingo, I know. You don't need, if you see this is all you need. Be a broker, be an example. See what it says? Lead by example, get certified. Get your funding training, get your comp plan training, get your daily huddles, be in your daily huddles. What does that say there? Set your work and work your plan. That's it. And then climb the ladder. Start it certified and climb on up. That's it. That's your leading by example. Can you do that? Come on now. And if you can do that, then can you recruit others to see the value in it? Of course you can. So here's the plan. You want to make more than $200,000? Have more than 20 to 25 active brokers. I don't mean people who are certified. I mean active, working the plan, trying to make a living, trying to earn some clients themselves, being active, self-employed people, and being those who want to climb to the right side. They're recruiting teams as well. Because even if I'm not getting clients, if my team is growing, and I have 20 new brokers start in my group this month, I'm probably going to get a few clients from those 20 brokers, right? So as my team's growing, this 20 to 25 active, you may only get, remember, this is 5 a week. You're only getting, 1 out of 5 of them to get a client this week, right? So what happens when you have 50 active? Well, maybe you're getting 10 and you're making 200,000 a year. So how do you have 50 active? Maybe you have 150 who are certified in your team. So don't not teach team building and don't not teach the right side of the quadrants. And I will end this and then go to your questions. This, what you see here, this will make you more money than the pricing on the funding. This will make you more money than knowing the compensation ladder. This cash flow quadrant will make you more money than knowing how Bank Breezy works. This here will make you more money than knowing what your replicated website is. This here will make you more money than knowing how to get a hold of support, how to change your member ID, how to use the chat bot, how to where to get your drop cards, where to get you. This will make you more money than everything you're going to learn in DAC. You want to know why? Because this creates a desire in a broker. Their eyes go, bing, you're kidding me. You're right. I am just here. I don't have enough money to be this. I'll have to work forever. And even if I'm self-employed, I got to work forever. I'll never be able to walk away unless I put a lot of money as an investor. And even then, I'm going to have about $4 million put away if I want to make 100 grand a year. And the rate of inflation, I'm going to have $10 million saved out of what I'm currently making to live a lifestyle and travel and all that. And otherwise, I'm just going to have to find a way to live on a fixed income and just get by. And the government income is in here too, but just call that employee. Or I can say, no, thank you. I am not succumbing to that model. I've got a model put right in front of me right here called the DAC Business Agency, where I can only take care of people and I can't lose a dime. I can only impact a business owner with funding. I'm not going to take anything from them. I'm giving them an opportunity and I'm giving a business to people. They don't even have to pay to renew. They don't have to pay for their training. They don't have to pay for their certification. They don't have to pay for their education. They don't have to pay for anything except some sweat equity, them time. And I can build an agency here and make more money than I can make in any job in America. And I'm sitting on my keister, not being unibuddy. I'm posting on Facebook and hoping. Post and hope is not a strategy. Post and hope is an expectation of fail. Do you need to post? Yes. Do you need to do social media? Do you need to put a video out? How many times have I said, please put a video out to your local? I got 2 referrals from hey, think a business in your local town. I wore Santa's hat. I got 2 referrals out of it because I put it on my local page. I got 2 people reached out to me. I say, please leave a video thanking business owners. And I go to a bunch of friends' sites who are DAC brokers, not a video, crickets. I see videos for other things, promoting other stuff. Where's the DAC thank a business owner video that you heard me say to do? Oh, David, I'm not coachable. I'm not coachable. I don't want to do that. Okay, no problem. But I have more clients. I'm earning the most. And if I'm saying doing it, it's because it's working, not because I want to embarrass you, not because you're ignorant and don't know any better, because I'm teaching what's working. You don't hear me teaching telemarketing calls. We have Matt and Nick do it because it's not working except for them. They're willing to do it. We're teaching what works for everybody. Do it, please. So, yes, do a social media video. Yes, do all that. But more importantly, just say, I'm doing this. I'm creating my activity. I'm doing the activity and the results will follow. They will follow. This is how farming works. Put a seed in the ground, take care of the soil. God will bring the rain. God will bring the sun. And God has some way of turning that seed into a tree with fruit. I don't know how. I don't need to know how. I just need to put the seed. It's the same thing you got to do here. But this here, this inspires people more than anything else. You need to know all that other stuff. But this here, I saw this and I'm getting out of General Motors. And I was already a business owner, but I didn't realize self-employed is not business ownership. According to the IRS, it is. But this model here of residual income, passive income, and income you're earning off something you built, we're already 10 years old and we're just getting humming. And everything we do, I'll say this because I had this fear. I'm thinking if I build, because I was with another company, if I build for some other company, I'm at General Motors at the time, if I build this big agency and we're marketing this product, what happens if something happens to your company? What happens? Here's the good news. It happened. But what they told me is if you build this organization, this agency yourself, you've built the agency. The relationship is with you. You're the one leading the agency. You've got this agency team. If something happens to the mothership, you just take that agency and put it somewhere else. And it's exactly what happened to the company I was with. Okay. And guess what? We didn't skip a beat. We took our active agents. We all knew each other and we plugged in with a different contractor and away we went. So Don't worry, you're building an agency here. It's just like if you're an agent for Progressive Auto and Progressive goes through bankruptcy, what do you do with your agency? You're a State Farm. I mean, you switch. What do we do when we have a lender who's no longer the right lender? We don't represent them anymore. So if something ever happened to DAC, which God forbid, God willing, nothing's going to happen. We're not here to sell. We've already been offered to sell it. We're not here. Anything we do takes care of our brokers. Even if this ever did go public or sell or anything like that, it would be contingent on them, the brokers still being able to keep doing what they're doing. And I had Sprint offer, my mom's on the call. She can testify to this. We had Sprint offer to buy my first company, but they were going to shut down all the residual checks to all of our agents. And I said, I can't do that. Even though it was a multi-million-dollar payday for me and my dad and my partners, we've all would have walked away with several $1,000,000. But they said, well, we got to not pay all those reps. Well, we're not doing that. That's not acceptable. We're not, even though Kenny Trout at Excel did it, even though so many other companies do it, David Rutz will never do that. And I can promise you that. And no one who ever succeeds this company will do that. It's contingent in our agreement. You can't shut off the comp plan to the brokers. You guys are building a business here you need to count on. And I was that business owner who needs to count on it too. So everything we have is in place for you as a broker and me and my family as a broker. Right? I'm paid in the pay plan just like you are. So if something happens to David Rutz, Marlo better be getting a check every week for me in my business that I built here, right? As we carry this forward, this needs to succeed me. It needs to succeed anyone else who's on the corporate team. So what you're building here is a legacy company. And I talk about these things instead of keeping them hidden. So you know it's thought about, it's considered, and even worst case, something happens to DAC, you take this agency you've built and you follow and you move somewhere else to someone who's not dead. Company, I don't mean physically dead. I mean, if DAC goes out of business, no problem. You plug in somewhere else, but we're not going out of business. We're growing. We're going to the next level. So here's your homework assignment for today. Go back to the first thing I showed. I know we've been all over. We're going to make this more simple. Watch it again if you have to. Your plan for your income level again was take your income divided by 5,000. I'm sorry, 2,000. That equals how many fundings you need to do this year. Multiply that by 10. That's how many local businesses need to know who you are. Okay. Income divided by 2,000 equals number of packages this year funding. Multiply that by 10. That's how many local business owners need to know who you are. Okay. Now they're not going to get it the day you tell them, but over time. Okay. Now that's if 1 in 10 takes funding this year. Only 1 in 10. The numbers are higher than that. So if you're good, your numbers will be better. So that's the first thing. So then the homework assignment is, what is the activity level you need to do to approach that many clients this year? So work it backward. If it's 400, then you need at least 40 business owners a month. That means 2 a day minimum that you get to know in your local community while following up with the ones you already know, while texting the ones you already know, so you're adding your reach a couple a day, but you're not ignoring the ones you've already reached in the past. Okay. So that's your first thing. What's your activity to the client approaches that you need to do on a daily basis? And what's your activity to follow up with your old clients you've already met? Texting, following up with them, chatting with them, follow the social. Okay, that's number one. Number two activity is for your recruiting your buddies and replenishing your team. How many people you're going to talk to per day about becoming a business broker with us until you find your buddy? How many is that? It's as many as it takes until you have a buddy, right? Now you'll get someone who goes, yeah, right away. But they're going to quit 4 days from now. Maybe they won't quit, but from their past, they're the type person who's going to be excited for a day and quit. That's not who you're looking to build. You're looking to the most dependable entrepreneurial type people. But don't prejudge, give them a chance, recruit everybody, but share what you believe, follow the training that's uploaded, share what you believe. You'll attract people to believe what you want to believe. They want to help local. They want to support local. That's a buddy. Go do it with them. All right. So how many are you going to approach? And then number 3, work the 8-step plan with them. So activity to get personal clients, which is part of leading by example. So you're getting your own personal clients, right? Over here. And then number 2, activity for recruiting people, that's in here, building your team, and then support your team with the local checklist. And this is a done deal. And once you replicate this model, you have 3 markets, 6 markets, 10 markets, 20 markets. That company that I mentioned with Sprint, well, never mind, doesn't matter. They replicated the system, kept going. I unfortunately had to leave that company to stop that sale. Never shared it publicly till after I left. But if I don't leave, that company sold to Sprint and it's closed. And because my dad and I didn't own 51%, we owned 48. We couldn't stop the sale, but I was the president. So if I resign, Sprint doesn't want to buy it anymore. I don't know why, but that's why I resigned and I left that company. It went on to do hundreds of millions of dollars a year in sales because it didn't sell. It couldn't sell. Now it switched, it had to switch out of phone service eventually, but that's one of the things I'm most proud of, that I didn't take the payout, and that business went on and create millionaires. Some people worth 50 million, 100 million since they were reps that would have lost their check in their business that day. So when I tell you DAC is not up for sale, your business, your agency is here, just like Berkshire Hathaway, just like Farm Bureau. You build it, it's here. You can count on it. I know we're only 10 years old, but we're here to build your broker agency forever and ever and ever. All right. So, and honor God while we're doing it.